Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us all. Vice Minister of Transportation, Bapak Komjen Polisi Purnawirawan Sultana, Vice Minister of Investment and Downstream Industry, Bapak Todo Tua Pasaribu, thank you for your remarks. Vice Minister for Protection of Migrant Workers, Ibu Christina Aryani, and Secretary General of International Maritime Organization, Mr. Arsenio Dominguez. Thank you for your inspiring speech, especially when you highlight about our ocean, our opportunity, and our obligation. Head of BMKG, Ibu Dwi Korita, Chairman of the first Indonesia Maritime Week 2025, and also Secretary General for Transportation Ministry, Captain Antoni Arif Priadi, Ibu Carmelita Hartoto, Chairwoman of the Indonesian National Ship Owners Association, also Chairwoman of FASA and ASA. Thank you for organizing this wonderful event. Excellency, ambassadors, and head of missions of friendly countries. I see a lot of my good friends, ambassadors, CDMs, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to Jakarta and to the inaugural Indonesia Maritime Week. I would like to express my deepest appreciation to the Ministry of Transportation and Indonesian National Ship Owners Association for their leadership in organizing this gathering. This event is a testament to their collaboration and commitment to advancing Indonesia's maritime future on the global stage. I've just arrived from California last night, and I had the privilege to pay respect to the Prime Minister of People's Republic of China, His Excellency Premier Li Qiang, this morning as he left the country after a very successful visit and meeting with our President, Bapak Prabowo Subianto. But I'm glad that I could make this event just in time. When some of you see me still a bit jet-lagged, because I'm still jet-lagged, but again, I could not miss this wonderful event. So thank you once again for having me here. When one journeys from Sabang to Merauke, and from Miangas to Pulau Rote, a vast arc of over 17,000 islands unfolds. These are not only coordinates on a map, they are the outlines of a nation whose destiny is bound to the sea. Indonesia is the world's largest archipelagic state. We span two oceans and sit astride some of the most important maritime routes on the planet. For centuries, our ancestors sailed across these waters, forging trade, cultural exchange, and civilizational flow. In fact, when we were kids, we were always taught to sing a very classic song. The title, Our Ancestors Were Sailors. Teman-teman Indonesia masih ingat ya? Nenek moyangku masih bisa lagunya? Bisa kita nyanyikan sebentar?
Bisa.
Bareng-bareng ya?
Bisa.
1, 2, 3. Nenek moyangku seorang pelaut, gemar mengarung luas samudra, menerjang ombak tiada takut, menempuh badai sudah biasa. So that song is very special for all Indonesians. The title is literally our ancestors were sailors. So again, this event is very meaningful for all Indonesians and I believe for every one of us in this room. We are not just surrounded by water, we are defined by it. And because of that, we must think and act as a maritime nation, not as a tagline, but as a mindset, as a policy compass, and a shared ambition. Indonesia's maritime destiny is not only cultural, it is also strategic. As the guardian of some of the world's most vital sea lanes of communications, from the Malacca Strait to the Lombok and Sunda Straits, we bear a unique responsibility. These waters are the arteries of global trade, and their security is central to regional peace and prosperity. Our naval strength must serve as both shield and signal. A shield to safeguard freedom of navigation, and a signal of our commitment to a rules-based maritime order. In the spirit of our Navy's motto, Jalas Veva Jaya Mahai, justru di laut kita jaya, in the sea we triumph. We stand firm in our duty to protect the seas that sustain us. In this context, I had the privilege to attend the opening ceremony of the 5th Multilateral Naval Exercise Komodo and the International Fleet Review at Port of Benoa, Bali last February. Indonesia's future depends on how effectively we manage and transform our maritime space. This includes how we invest in resilient port infrastructure, shift toward low carbon shipping, secure our sea lanes, preserve marine biodiversity, and train the next generation of seafarers and maritime professionals. It also means deepening our cooperation with the international community to keep the global maritime domain peaceful, open, and sustainable. As Southeast Asia rises in global economic and geopolitical relevance, the seas that bind us carry both opportunity and risk. Indonesia is strengthening cross-border maritime connectivity with ASEAN partners to boost regional integration and facilitate trade, ensuring our shared seas become engines of inclusive growth and seamless cooperation. The Indonesia Maritime Week is a response to that reality. We convene here not just to showcase projects or announce policies, but to anchor a long-term vision that integrates dialogue, cooperation, and innovation. Just last week, I had the honor of delivering a keynote speech at the Southeast Asia Summit on Prosperity and Sustainability at Stanford University, California. That gathering reaffirmed a powerful truth. Southeast Asia's future, including our food systems, our clean energy, our connectivity, is tied closely to how we develop, govern, and sustain our maritime domain. I also had the opportunity to visit leading technology companies in Silicon Valley. The scale of innovation underway was staggering, from autonomous navigation to dynamic logistic optimization through digital twins and climate modeling. These developments remind us the maritime sector must be understood not in silos, but as a complex, integrated system, one that links economy, ecology, security, culture, and diplomacy. In an era of climate disruption and rapid technological change, it is not enough to simply sail forward. We must know where we are going and why. Let this Indonesia Maritime Week be a milestone in that journey. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, under the leadership of President Prabowo Subianto, Indonesia is pushing forward on multiple fronts, from food, water, and energy security to defense modernization and infrastructure acceleration. These national priorities are deeply intertwined with our maritime reality. Whether it's ensuring that our islands remain connected and secure, or building the physical and digital infrastructure that links coastal communities to opportunity, maritime development is not peripheral, it is central. At the Coordinating Ministry for Infrastructure and Regional Development, we oversee 5 key ministries: Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning, Public Works, Transportation, Housing Development, and Transmigration. That means we don't just think about the ports, we must carefully consider the land use around them, the roads that lead to them, the bridges that connect them, the homes that depend on them, and the people who power them. In a country where 60% of our population lives in coastal areas, maritime development is not just a sector. It is the spine of our national growth. Maritime trade underpins our economy. Coastal ecosystems support our food systems. The resilience of our ports, shipping routes, and island communities will determine our ability to weather climate risks and drive inclusive development. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for all our aspirations to modernize ports, adopt clean maritime technologies, and decarbonize our fleets, one challenge persists above all others: creative, accessible, and sustainable financing mechanisms. To this day, maritime transport lags behind land transport in terms of decarbonization. Promising projects like the Green Port in Teluk Lamong are emerging, but much remains to be done. We face steep hurdles, especially in modernizing aging fleets with low emission engines and building the necessary green infrastructure at scale. That is why a fundamental restructuring of our maritime financing ecosystem is urgently needed. We must develop, number one, green financing schemes with lower interest rates. Number two, blended finance models involving public-private partnerships. And number three, dedicated maritime investment facilities, potentially backed by sovereign funds or green bonds. While our state-owned enterprises and others have laid important groundwork, Indonesia's maritime sector still faces a critical gap: the lack of specialized financial instruments tailored to shipbuilding and shipping's unique needs. Unlike global maritime hubs, where vessels benefit from long-term financing aligned with their 50 to 70-year lifespans, our ship owners often rely on generic commercial loans, creating unnecessary financial strain. Closing this gap isn't just about competitiveness, it is about unlocking our full potential as a maritime nation, and we stand ready to collaborate with financial institutions to pioneer solutions worthy of Indonesia's seafaring legacy. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the urgency is real. Based on data from the Ministry of National Development Planning, our national fleets include over 98,000 vessels with an average age of more than 20 years. Nearly half are fishing vessels and approximately 30,000 are merchant ships that drive our trade and economic connectivity. To meet the emissions reduction targets set in our National Long-Term Development Plan, we must begin the phased retirement of high-emission vessels and accelerate the adoption of low-carbon alternatives. This is not only about ships, it's about infrastructure too. Green ships need green ports. That means charging stations for electric vessels, LNG and hydrogen fueling facilities, and smart logistics. Other ASEAN countries, as well as China, are already doing this. We cannot afford to be left behind. We are also prioritizing port development in the eastern region of Indonesia, namely Maluku, Papua, and Nusa Tenggara, to reduce logistics costs and improve accessibility. These investments are vital not only for national integration, but also for unlocking the economic potential and ensuring that no island is left behind in our growth story. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing innovation on the rise in the transportation sector. In Bali, for example, a water taxi initiative is showing how green local sea transport can support tourism and reduce emissions. Projects like this prove that small ideas can make a big impact. In the fishing sector, protecting our marine life is critical. Indonesia has taken firm steps to stop illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing by enforcing the Port State Measures Agreement. 5 major ports are now actively implementing these measures. We've also launched the Eco Fishing Port Program in Belawan, Bitung, Cilacap, and Kendari, making these ports models of responsible and sustainable fishing. Finally, as we prepare for the future, we are embracing technology. Through the Ocean Big Data Project, we are building a powerful digital platform that will help us manage our seas more effectively, tracking ships, monitoring ecosystems, and making smarter policy decisions. Imagine what AI could do for our maritime sector. Real-time optimization of shipping routes to reduce fuel use and emissions. Predictive maintenance for vessels and port equipment. Enhanced surveillance for maritime security and illegal fishing. Advanced early warning systems for tsunamis and coastal flooding. I think 2 weeks ago I was briefed by Ibu Dwi Korita on the risk and potential disasters happening in our region, including mega threats. So again, we must produce and implement advanced early warning systems for any potential disasters in our country and in our region. And last but not least, smart training platforms to upskill our maritime workforce. So Indonesia must co-create these technological solutions, adapt them to our unique geographies, and ensure that they are inclusive and secure. Ladies and gentlemen, behind every ship we stand to see, every port we build, and every green initiative we launch, there's one thing that matters most: our people. Our people. Indonesia's maritime strength doesn't just come from our steel and ports. It comes from the dedication and hard work of our seafarers. Over the past 5 years, the Ministry of Transportation has been working to improve skills and qualifications of our maritime workforce. This includes better training, proper certification, and keeping track of those working both at home and abroad. These efforts are about real people. A young cadet from Makassar, dreaming of working on an international ship. A mother in Tegal, whose son is now a ship engineer in Japan. A fishing village in Ambon that thrives because one successful crew. These are the lives we're investing in. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, I'm pleased to announce that Indonesia will host the International Conference on Infrastructure 2025, June 11 to 12, at Jakarta International Convention Center. ICI 2025 is a platform where we can show the world that Indonesia is ready, not just to build, but to lead. We will bring together investors, experts, and leaders to discuss how creative financing, green infrastructure, and resilient development go hand in hand. I would like also extend a warm welcome to the IMO Secretary General and the distinguished ambassadors joining us today. Your presence is a strong testament to the trust and collaboration we share, and we deeply appreciate your ongoing support, especially as Indonesia aspires to play a more active role in the IMO Council. With our vast maritime heritage, our strong commitment in sustainable development, and strategic location along vital global shipping routes, Indonesia is uniquely positioned to be a valuable partner in shaping the future of international maritime governance. We look forward to strengthening these partnerships and contributing meaningfully to the IMO's mission. Ladies and gentlemen, all these efforts, whether onshore or offshore, whether technical or human, are woven together by a single thread. The belief that Indonesia's maritime future belongs to all of us. It is not just about global competitiveness. It is about dignity, opportunity, and legacy. Because when we modernize a ship, we protect the livelihood of the passengers, the captain, and the crews. When we build a green port, we open doors for cleaner air and healthier coastal communities. And when we train a new generation of seafarers, we raise not just skill levels, but entire families out of poverty. The Indonesia Maritime Week marks the beginning of a new chapter, one in which our maritime aspirations are matched by innovation, collaboration, and execution. We are proud to host voices from across the region and beyond. Mariners, engineers, entrepreneurs, academia and researchers, bankers and regulators. This is a conversation for all of us who depend on the seas and who are stewards of its future. Let this week be the anchor point for bolder maritime ambition. Let us move forward not as isolated actors, but as a connected archipelago of ideas and action. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.